Hello everyone. If you're like me, you've been waiting for the final season of My Hero Academia for what feels like an eternity. The expectations were sky high, and let me tell you, these first 2 episodes didn't just meet them, they shattered them. The first episode was pure fire. It threw us right back into the chaos with zero hesitation. The animation, the pacing, the raw energy, it was a perfect reminder of the stakes. You can feel the desperation and the sheer scale of the conflict from the very first minute. It sets the tone immediately. This is the end and no one is safe. And in the middle of all that chaos, we got one of the most incredible character moments in the entire series. I'm talking about Toru Hagakure, the Invisible Girl. After all these years, we finally saw her, and the way they handled that reveal was just beautiful. It wasn't just a gimmick. It was emotional, it was impactful, and honestly, she is so incredibly cute. It was a perfect, quiet moment of humanity in the middle of a war. But then came the second episode. If the first episode was fire, the second episode was absolute cinema. This is where the season's heart truly started beating. The weight on Midoriya's shoulders feels heavier than ever before. Watching him fight, watching him push past every limit, you feel it with him. I'm not exaggerating when I say I felt like I was right there with him, fighting as hard as I could hold back my own tears. It's a gut punch of an episode that elevates the story to a whole new level. It's not just a battle. It's a profound struggle for the soul of the hero. Together, these 2 episodes are a phenomenal opening act. They perfectly balance explosive, top-tier action with a deep, emotional core that reminds us why we fell in love with these characters in the first place. This isn't just the beginning of the end. It's a statement. And it's a statement that promises one of the greatest finales in modern anime. Let's dive a little deeper into that first episode, because it deserves more than just a passing glance. The creative team at Studio Bones understood the assignment perfectly. We didn't need a long recap. We didn't need a slow ramp-up. We needed to be reminded of the terror, of the absolute pandemonium that the Paranormal Liberation War unleashed upon Japan. And that's exactly what we got. From the opening shot, you are immediately on the back foot, just like the heroes. There's a palpable sense of disorder, a feeling that everything has already fallen apart, and our heroes are just trying to hold the pieces together. The action itself is on another level. This isn't just flashy fights for the sake of it. Every single punch, every blast, every strategic move carries the weight of a nation on the brink. When you see someone like Mirko battered and broken but still fighting with that ferocious grin on her face, you understand the cost. You see the pro heroes we've looked up to for 6 seasons push to their absolute breaking point limits. The animation captures this with a brutal elegance. The choreography is fluid and frantic, mirroring the desperation of the characters. You can practically feel the impact of Shigaraki's decay, the oppressive force of his presence radiating through the screen. This episode reestablishes him not just as a villain, but as a walking, talking apocalypse. It's a masterclass in setting the stakes, in making the audience feel that sense of impending doom that had been building for so long. It's loud, it's chaotic, and it's exactly the injection of adrenaline the series needed to kick off its final act. It grabs you by the collar and screams, "Pay attention! Everything you care about is on the line." And then, just as you're catching your breath from that onslaught, the episode gives us that one perfect, shining moment. The Hagakure reveal. Let's be honest. For years this has been a fan theory, a meme, a question we all had in the back of our minds. What does the Invisible Girl actually look like? And how would the series ever show us? The way it was handled was nothing short of genius. It wasn't some grand, dramatic unmasking. It happened in a moment of pure, selfless heroism. She's defending her friend, Yuga Aoyama, the traitor who betrayed them all. She's standing in front of him, shielding him. And in that moment of extreme stress and emotional vulnerability, a laser beam refracts off her tear-streaked face. And for just a second, we see her. It was breathtaking. The art style, the soft lighting, the genuine shock and beauty of the moment. It was perfect. It wasn't about fan service. It was about character. In that split second, we saw all the pain, the fear, and the resolve in her eyes. It recontextualized her entire character. She isn't just a gimmick. She's a person who's been fighting just as hard as everyone else, unseen. It was a moment of profound empathy, a quiet beat in the symphony of destruction that reminded us what they're all fighting for: each other. It was a testament to the idea that even in the darkest of times, there is still light, there is still beauty, and there is still humanity. And in a show about what it means to be a hero, that single, fleeting image spoke volumes. It was a beautiful, poignant pause before the show took its next, much darker turn, which brings us to episode 2. And I'm going to say that title again, because it bears repeating: absolute cinema. This episode is where My Hero Academia transcends from being a great shonen anime into something more. It becomes a piece of art that is genuinely hard to watch in the best possible way. The entire mood shifts. The vibrant colors of the series are muted, washed out by a relentless, dreary rain. The triumphant musical scores are replaced by a somber, haunting melody, or even more powerfully by silence. The focus narrows completely onto Izuku Midoriya. And this is not the bright-eyed, optimistic Deku we once knew. This is a Deku who has been pushed far beyond his limits. He's running on fumes, driven by a singular, crushing purpose: to keep everyone else safe by staying away from them. He's isolated himself, believing he is a target that endangers anyone he gets close to. The design of his costume reflects this perfectly. It's tattered, grimy, almost demonic. The iconic smile is gone, replaced by a grim, determined snarl. His eyes glow with a feral intensity. He looks less like a symbol of peace and more like a vengeful spirit haunting the ruins of a city. And this is where the episode becomes cinematic. The direction is deliberate and suffocating. We are put directly into his headspace. We feel his exhaustion in every ragged breath. We feel his loneliness in the wide, empty shots of a desolate city. We feel the immense, crushing weight of One for All, a power that is both a gift and an unbearable curse. The world sees a monster, a vigilante tearing through the streets. But we, the audience, we see a child who is shouldering a burden that would break any adult, let alone a teenager. The fight with Lady Nagant is the centerpiece of this masterpiece. It's not just a physical confrontation. It's an ideological one. She is a dark mirror of Deku, a former hero who was broken by the very system she swore to uphold. She saw the hypocrisy, the darkness beneath the heroic facade, and she lost her faith. She looks at Deku and sees the same naive idealism she once had, and she wants to destroy it. Their battle is a breathtaking spectacle, yes, but it's the emotional and philosophical core of it that lands so hard. He's not just fighting her, he's fighting the despair she represents. He's fighting to prove that her cynicism, her belief that heroism is a lie, is wrong. He's trying to save her soul as much as he's trying to stop her bullets. And the climax of that fight, when he reaches her, when he tries to pull her back from the edge, only for All for One to detonate a failsafe inside her, it's devastating. It's a gut punch. You feel Deku's desperate scream in your bones. He tried to save her. He did everything right, and he still failed. It's a cruel, heart-wrenching lesson. In this war, even victories feel like losses. That's the feeling the episode leaves you with. A profound sense of sorrow and helplessness. It forces you to share in Deku's pain, to understand the true cost of the sacrifice. This isn't about power levels or cool new moves anymore. This is a story about the breaking of a hero, and whether he can ever be put back together again. So what we have here is a 1-2 punch that perfectly encapsulates everything that makes My Hero Academia great. The first episode delivered the high-octane, blockbuster action that we all crave. It's the spectacle, the hype, the grand-scale conflict that gets your blood pumping. It's the kind of top-tier shonen animation that sets the standard for the industry. But the second episode provided the soul. It delivered the intimate, character-driven, and emotionally devastating storytelling that makes us care so deeply about this world. It's the quiet moments, the psychological depth, the raw, unfiltered emotion that stays with you long after the credits roll. Action without heart is just noise. Emotion without stakes can feel weightless. These 2 episodes prove that the team behind this finale understands that you need both. They have masterfully woven together the explosive and the introspective, the epic and the personal. They have set a new, impossibly high bar for what this series can achieve. This isn't just an adaptation of a manga anymore. This is a cinematic experience. It's a powerful, moving, and unforgettable start to the end. If these first 2 episodes are any indication, we are not just watching conclusion of a story. We are witnessing the cementing of a legacy. This is the final act My Hero Academia deserves, and I, for one, cannot wait to see where this phenomenal, heart-stopping journey takes us next.